I can't believe you've never seen those memes with the...
Hey, I watch Star Wars memes, okay? That's what I got right now.
You are getting better. Yeah, it'll be like someone doing something physical, like he'll jump over a traffic cone or something, and then it'll cut to that scene from Jason Bourne where the guy goes, Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Should we get this going?
Yeah, are we recording now?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Are we actually recording? I better watch my P's and Q's, Buster. We are.
Welcome to the Mormon to Medium podcast, where we'll talk about spirituality, the paranormal, religion, and my journey going from Mormon to medium. I'm Nannette Ride. Thanks for listening. Now let's go have some fun.
Don't be afraid. Close your eyes. There's a moon overhead, but the sun will rise.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Mormon to Medium podcast. And as you just heard in the intro, we talk about spirituality, religion, and Nan's journey going from Mormon to medium.
And other shit.
And other shit. Miscellaneous other shit. Usually, though, we stick to pretty much that. I mean, sometimes we get off on a tangent.
No, we always get off on a tangent, especially if it's you.
Oh, you're going to blame me for that.
Oh, totally. You're the entertainment in this podcast.
Jesus.
I'm serious. You're the entertainment. And most people think it's the other way around.
I don't think you should put that kind of pressure on me. I'm not going to perform well.
Performance anxiety.
You're going to get a 2-minute show.
That's a long one.
Exactly. Don't stress me out.
Oh my gosh.
So, Nan, I wanted to talk to you today about spirits.
Spirits, like the floaty ones?
I don't
Or
know.
our own spirits?
I don't know. You tell me. Are they floaty? Because
it is approaching Halloween, so
it is. So I think that's perfect. And one of the things that we got a question about was when you do your readings, how do you see the spirits? What does that look like? And I think that's a really good thing to discuss a little bit is what does that look like? Because I can imagine, but
I can only imagine.
I don't know that song.
Can you?
I don't know that song.
You don't know that song?
What is that?
With you?
That must be like some cheesy one.
Oh, it is.
Okay. No
it
wonder.
is. It's like all spiritual and shit.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I'm going to play it for you throughout the whole house today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to play Jesus as a friend of mine.
Brad, you've seen spirits before. Like,
Well,
how do they look for you?
But not in a reading, not where they're like, hey, I'm Grandpa Johnson, and this is my favorite thing to do with my grandson, and we're going to go pick walnuts off from the black walnut tree in the backyard. And here's a walnut, so you'll know that that's what we're doing. So how does that work? Because I know you get shit like that all the time. So what happens when you do a reading? When your sitter comes in here, are you like all set up, or, you know, do your spirits pregame? I mean, how does that work?
I think some of them definitely pregame because they show up usually the day before or the night before. And I usually am not thinking about my readings the next day. But they just pop in. Like I can be sitting in the pool or cleaning the kitchen or whatever, and they'll pop in and I know who they're with. And I'll acknowledge them, but I won't let them in to actually talk to me or anything because I have office hours.
Okay.
So yes, they do pregame.
So they're just kind of like hanging out in the
But
background.
not
like
all of them do.
watching you all creepily and like.
No,
Hey.
they'll just pop in once in a while to let me know I'm right here. Like,
Okay.
Can we talk yet? Type of thing.
Got it.
And sometimes they'll give me like pictures and messages of what's going on. And you can't stop them. Even with my protection, sometimes you can't stop them. But most of the time, they're really respectful and will wait until I open my space and let them come in to talk to me.
Gotcha.
But you asked what a spirit looks like, though. What a spirit looks like and how they come across are two different things. So how does a spirit look to you? You've seen a few, quite a few. What do they look like to you?
Well, I've had a couple of different experiences, right? And I've seen spirits that look like you would expect a spirit to look, like a little bit like,
Are they see-through?
a little bit transparent, a little bit ethereal, blah, blah,
Are
blah.
they scary looking? Are they?
They look like people. And
Okay.
then I've also seen spirits that look just like you look sitting across from me.
So solid.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be hard to tell sometimes between a spirit and a human if you didn't know you were looking at a ghost, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So same thing, except for I see them with both my human eyes and my spiritual eyes. So subjectively and objectively, I see them both ways. And not all the time do I see them with my human eyes. I always see
So
them.
they're non-binary.
Oh my gosh, please. But I always do see them with my spiritual eyes. Sometimes it takes a lot of energy to show me them with my human eyes.
Right.
Because they have to spend their energy to make themselves more solid and an apparition.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so that's how I see them. But when you talk to a spirit, it's a lot of the way that you talk to a human, right? It's kind of a whole experience. You use all of your senses. So you and I are talking and we're looking at each other. So I'm seeing you.
Right.
And I'm seeing you're drinking coffee and I'm seeing your phone next to you, like all the things I'm seeing. So
I can just smell you. You always smell so good.
my grandkids say that too.
You smell good, Nana.
You smell good. Why do you always smell so good? But if a spirit wants to show me, for example, someone visiting their grave and putting something on their grave, they kind of would show me above the grave and that person going to the grave and showing the person putting stuff on the grave. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
So they'll show me things like that, or
So there's a lot of like actual like story time.
a lot of story time. Yeah. And you put the feeling in with the story time. So you're watching a really emotional movie, basically.
Okay.
So you get all the feels too. And then you get the senses of, the smells and all of that all at the same time. So they're messages, but they're coming through with all of the clairs. So it's really, really cool. But sometimes it can be really intimidating, especially in the beginning when I started doing this, having lots of spirits come through at the same time. Scared the crap out of me because I never really wanted to do readings.
Right.
So I was just trying to get my head around it.
Right. Well, and I remember that you were like, yeah, I don't know that I'm going to do readings. I'm working with my mentor, but I don't know that I like this. And I remember there was one point where you were just in tears saying, I'm not ever going to do this again.
That's true. It's because my mentor, she had said that she was going to have people come through for her family. Well, what happened is I had to, like, for example, I had wingtip shoes that came through, and I had, a ragtop car, and then I had, flowers of a certain color, and they were all from different people. They weren't with the same person, so the story wasn't there. So it was confusing, and I didn't know how many spirits were there because they didn't show me. It was just these pictures just coming at me really fast, and it got really confusing, and I got freaked out and I started to cry, and I actually shut my gifts down for like 3 months after that because I felt invaded. I didn't think that was cool. So in my practice for the longest time, I mean, I'm an Aries, I'm a control freak. So I've always been telling my spirit guides, you send one through at a time and you all just take turns because I'm not talking to the whole group. Like, we're talking one at a time because that's how I needed to have it at the time.
Right.
But things have shifted big time lately. So now I can talk to several of them, and it's like talking to a room full of people, and they're all respectful, but I can tell where information is coming from. And I can tell when someone extra is in the room, even if they don't talk, I know that they're there. It's like, okay, you haven't said anything yet, but I know you're there. So
you just like feel them there?
No,
or?
I can see them. That's my main,
Okay.
that's my main gift.
And
is
that's
that
called
sight.
clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can feel them too, but like I can feel their personality and all that. But I don't know their story yet because they haven't told me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But usually they'll wait their turn and then pop in with their whole story and then never shut up. So it's a matter of them taking turns. But yeah, my practice has shifted a lot lately to where I get lots of people that come through.
Got it. That's kind of cool. And is that, so it's just gotten to a point where it's easy for you to do then, or is it?
I think I've relaxed enough that, and maybe grown enough in my own spirituality that I don't feel like I have to control.
So you're just letting things go a little bit.
Yeah, which is a big deal for me. You know that. Like I'm not that person. So I have to have things just so. And I think it's because of my past. I didn't have control of the things in my life in my past. And so I've had to always control things. But I think I've healed enough, body, mind, and soul, that I can be like, okay, I'm just going to sit back and you guys all just let me know. Let me know what's going on.
That's a really interesting perspective to be able to say, yeah, I didn't have control over so many aspects of my life. So anything I could control, I had to hold it with an iron grip. And now you're at a point where you go, whoa, wait a minute. It's okay for these things to go on around me without me having to dictate what that looks like.
Right. And where, as before, it was terrifying to have that happen. I mean, it brought me to tears and made me shut things down. Now I'm like, oh, okay. Like I've worked with my team, my spirit guides, angels, and ancestors enough to where I implicitly trust them. And so I just sit back and I'm like, okay, give it to me. And then if I have questions about a message that's coming through and it's not coming through clearly, I can just ask my spirit guide and be like, what are they showing me? What is this? And he will tell me.
Gotcha.
So it's like I have a whole team that's backing me up, trying to get the messages through, and it's easy. So and it's really fun, actually. It is really fun. I always stand amazed. Like, did you just see that? Oh my God.
Stand all amazed at the things Jesus
offers me. Yes. I love that song, actually. That's actually one of the ones that doesn't trigger me.
Well, it's not quite so moany as most of the hymns. So as far as when somebody comes in, you said that they pregame and, you get some spirits that'll come in earlier. How do you know who it's going to be for? Like if you've got 3 clients in a day, how can you differentiate who's who and where's where and what's what?
Well, old me would be like, okay, who are you for? Because I just couldn't, not, because I had to have control over it. But now I'm just like, oh, okay, I see you there. And that's it. That's all I do. And then I just let them come through when they need to come through with the person, because they'll come through with the person. And usually it's my very first one that's coming through.
So do you sit like in a seance? You're like, this is Madam Nan. Any spirits in the room here for Bradley? Please show yourself.
Basically, when I open my space, kind of, yeah, I do.
Interesting.
I do. I tell my team, send in the spirits that have messages of love and hope and light, and I say the name for this person.
Do you say it out loud or just this is in your head?
I've done both. It just depends on where I'm at. If I'm here in my room, I'm pretty sure my dog has heard me say it a billion times. But then they usher them in. But I've had it also happen where the sitter is talking about a spirit that's not there that I can see, and then all of a sudden they swing in front of me and show me themselves. And I'm like, whoa, okay, you just talked about Granny, and is this what she looks like? And they're like, yes. And then I'm like, okay, Granny's got some things to say. If she's going to swing in that quick, she's got something. So I have to stop for a second and then talk to Grandma and then swing back to the other people that we were talking to. But it's just like a conversation you're having in a room.
So that's kind of brought on by whoever your sitter is then. So essentially their energy is drawing that particular spirit in because they're putting focus on that person.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. It's always about the sitter. It's always about the messages for the sitter. And a lot of times people have an idea of who they want to talk to before they even get here.
Oh.
So
does that always work? Or is it kind of a crapshoot? Like you get what you get, you don't throw a fit.
Most of the time you get I'm not in charge of who comes through. I'm not in charge of what goes on the other side. I don't know if they're busy.
Do you know who is in charge? Charles.
Who the hell's Charles?
Charles.
Charles in charge. You are so Juna.
And you know what? That joke will go over the head of 99% of the people who
I
listen
know,
to this.
right?
We'll
That is, you just aged yourself.
Oh, totally did.
The funny thing is I remember being too old to watch that show.
You were too old to watch that show. Really?
Yeah, I was like, I don't have time for this.
It was too juvenile for you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did you watch? Phil Donahue?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I figured. And Days of Our Lives?
Yes.
I have to watch Days.
General Hospital. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Daytime soaps, huh?
Totally. aging
You could watch
myself.
daytime soaps, but you couldn't watch Charles in Charge. That's why
Yeah.
you were so serious.
Why so serious?
Exactly.
No, I'm not so serious, honey. You know that.
Not now. I've loosened you up a lot.
Does not sound right.
Man.
You're so
Oh my
horrible.
gosh. What is wrong with
You
you?
relaxed me.
Why did you
What are you
take it
talking
that way?
about? Loosen me up.
Oh my God.
My gosh. Who are you?
Oh. That is not appropriate for all age
You're
categories.
so inappropriate.
I don't even know where we were now. All right, so Nan is Charles in Charge. She's calling in all the ghosts for their days and their nights and working on them. And people are looking at them going, wow, Nan, you've got all these great messages for me. And if they want to get in touch with you, and if anyone out there wants to have a reading by Nan, she does them remotely as well. All you have to do is get on the website and you can book out through the calendar. In fact, the link to the website is in the show notes.
The show notes. And you can follow us on social media at the Mormon to Medium podcast. Or you can follow both Brad and myself on Facebook. It's under our names. And also the Mormon to Medium podcast. So all three. And be watching for classes that are going to be coming up if you want to learn more about energy work and how to heal your own family and your own body. And you can also go to my website, zenergysage.com.
Yep.
Yep. You can even find the podcast there.
That's true. There's a link there. There's a page
I love that
dedicated
part.
just to the podcast.
And the classes will be listed there too. So we're going to have mini classes and, you can learn how to balance your pets, your little kids.
Now, you're going to start those the beginning of the year.
I am going to start them in the next 6 weeks.
Make sure you get on there, book a reading with Nan because they are pretty awesome. She's got 5-star reviews all over Google, which is really impressive. And speaking of reviews, please make sure you like and review the podcast so that we can continue to put out outstanding content, or at least mediocre content that you enjoy.
Hey, we are not mediocre. I have to throw in there too, part of the reading, not only do you get the messages from the other side, but I also read your energy and draw some cards for you. So,
Speaking of cards,
speaking of cards,
you drew some cards today for our listeners who were born in,
the month of September.
yay, Virgos.
Yeah, Virgos. Well, it's Virgos, and what's the other sign?
Fuck if
On
I
the
know.
cusp.
I don't know that stuff. I know what my sign is, your sign, and my kids' signs. That's it.
Well, that's more than a lot of people, so that's okay. So I had several cards that flew out of the deck. The very first one that flew out was the High Priestess. So it's a major arcana card. It's all about trusting the universe, getting in touch with your intuition, being able to tap into your own spirituality, and that's super important to get through this month.
And we will put photos of these cards up on our social media.
Yes. Yes.
You would be able to see them, but our video,
Sucks.
it didn't work out so well. I think we need to get some new cameras.
Yes. So we did record this earlier and the video didn't work. So we're re-recording, which is super fun to do. Another hot date.
Exactly. All right. Sorry for that interruption. Card number 2.
So we have the 6 of Swords that's reversed and also the 3 of Cups that's reversed. Basically, you've got obstacles in the way. Things are going a little bit awry. So they're going to have some challenges, but in the end, you're going to have abundance. So we have the 8 of Cups upright. So you've got abundance coming, but stay in tune with your spiritual side. Work with your spirit team to get through this month. and really pay attention. I think that the chaos and the things going awry are things going around in our world and what we're drawing to ourselves. So be aware of what you're drawing to yourself. Make sure that it's positive and that you're creating the life that you love. And if you're not having positive things come to you, really pay attention, because you're the one that can change that. So you're going to have a great month. We're ending in abundance. So,
hey, that's always a good thing. You climb over the hills to get to the pot of the gold.
Right? Isn't that kind of what life is?
It is. So very cool. Thank you, Nan. I appreciate that reading for all of our Virgos out there.
Virgos. Aren't Virgos kind of chill people anyway? They're kind of...
I think for the most part, but I think they also have a quick fuse.
Do they?
I don't know. I think so. The ones I know do. They're stubborn.
You all have to let us know, Virgos out there. Let us know what your personality type is. We're gonna keep track and see what you all have in common. I know a lot of Aries are the same.
Yeah, you're stubborn.
What? Okay, maybe, but not as stubborn as a Sag.
Oh, I'm not stubborn. I'm easygoing.
Okay, I found 2 memes that say that Sagittariuses and Cancers are psycho.
Yeah.
Psycho killer. The Aries will rob a bank.
Really? Why is that?
I think because we're just big energy and nobody can stop us. So, but that's what the meme said. I was like, dude, I've only stolen one thing in my whole life and I still feel bad about it. And it was a hot dog necklace when I was like 9.
Yeah, your wiener whistle. We've talked about that. We've talked about the wiener whistle. My favorite bank robbers are the ex-presidents.
Oh.
Yeah, from Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break.
The original Point Break, not the remake Point Break.
Oh, the original is the only way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You showed that to your son too, huh?
Oh, yeah. He watched that all the time when he was a kid. He used to call it surfing. I want to watch surfing, Dad. And I let my kid watch very inappropriate movies.
But now our grandson surfs because he has a surfing grandpa.
He does, and it's not me. It's the cool grandpa.
It's your motorcycle grandpa.
I don't know. I haven't gotten anything out in a long time.
But no.
It's in the garage, though.
It is in the garage, but you took him on a 4-wheeler ride when he was here. So you're the cool grandpa too, just in a cool, different way.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And on that note, I think that we should go ahead and roll things up here.
We're rolling it up. Have an awesome week. And thanks again for listening. Thanks for supporting us. And please tell your family and friends about us. We love you. Have a smashing week. And we'll see you
on the other side of the veil.